Hello, welcome, or welcome back. It kind of sounded like the neighbor's dog responded to me. It's kind of funny. Anyway, okay. They're just barking for no reason. Cool. So, distractions already. I'm not starting this over. Anyway, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I'll be guiding you on this journey today. This is the reading for the 6-3 human design profile. If you don't know your human design profile, there is a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph. And, your profile will be listed on there amongst a plethora of other information specific to your human design. Now, no matter where you are in your awareness, knowledge, experiment with human design, these messages are more so meant to be just an additional avenue or channel for information. I try not to use a ton of human design language just in case, because truly I don't want the message to get lost or confused. Also, not every 6-3 is a Taurus or a Pisces, so definitely be sure to check out your zodiac sign readings. Those are usually done first. And, what else? If you haven't done so already, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed to the channel. And just a yap for a second, like a vent sesh. I I was using CapCut to edit these videos, and they made a drastic change to their terms of service or terms of use, whatever that's called. And I refuse to use CapCut anymore. Basically, what they changed is that whatever content that you upload into their program, they own. They can use your content for whatever purpose they want to use it for, as many times as they want to use it, without compensating you, without notifying you. And I think that is really pretty crappy. I feel like it's siphoning energy out of people. It's literally stealing your creativity, your time, your literal energy going into, you know what I mean? And quite frankly, I'm so sick of companies, corporations, businesses doing that. It pisses me off. So, if you're using CapCut, I wouldn't do that anymore. And this is the kicker too, right? If you use a copyrighted audio that you don't have the license or the rights to, right? And if CapCut then uses that video that has that audio on it, again, for whatever purpose they want to use it for, and they get flagged for copyright, you're the one that's on the hook for it, not CapCut. So not only are they taking no risk, no liability, they're not paying you for your content. Oh God, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Anyway, also, let me just say, I'm under no illusion that CapCut would ever use my tarot content for anything. I don't know. Can't think of a single scenario where that would happen. It's just, it's the principle of it though. And also, I was only, I didn't overly edit, at least I didn't think I was overly editing videos. All that I would edit out is extended periods of time where I'm sitting here staring at the cards. Because I do that. And so I would take that section of silence out. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes to shuffle the cards for cards to actually come out. I edit that out, I just kind of, to me, I'm assuming, and also it's coming from a place of like self-judgment, that people would find that like annoying, or I don't know, wouldn't want to watch, like 2 minutes of shuffling or, also sit there in silence. Honestly, I don't know. And I used to make one intro video because like repeating myself 24 times, like my brain is like, you've already said this 20 times. And I'm like, yeah, but I haven't said it this one time for this video. So, oh, this one new leaf that's coming in on this plant has like totally like broken through itself. Maybe I'll take a picture and I'll overlay it. I can't do that because I'm not editing videos. Damn it. See? Anyway, there's another like squirrel, So yeah, I was making like one intro video, obviously like I would just edit it to where, it is at the beginning of each video. So anyway, there's not going to be any editing done ever again. So, however, and also too, like sometimes my dog will go nuts. Like if somebody is walking by, I edit that out. Like the rare times that I walk away from the table for whatever, I edit that out, So anyway, there's going to be no more edits. Are there other editing softwares? Yeah, there are, of course. And I did, like, there was a program that I was using prior to this that I did try to use again for the first couple videos that I put out. But the process is so time consuming compared to what I was doing on CapCut. I was like, this is actually taking the joy out of doing the readings. Like, I was like, no, I can't do this. I don't want to go back to that either, And I did download this other program, DaVinci, I think is what it was called. And I'm sure it's great. It's just like too much, like too professional or something for like the little bit of editing that like I want to do. So anyway, also last thing and I'll wrap up my sesh. I found this out, like I saw a video about this whole CapCut thing on the day that Mars went into Virgo. And Virgo is my third house of communication, amongst other things. And also I'm a Cancer rising. So, my chart ruler is in Virgo. My IC is in Virgo. And so I think it's kind of hilarious. Like I literally crashed out for like 2 days because I was like, oh my God, I can't make these videos. And like, what am I going to do? Like I can't do videos anymore. And then of course too, like that led me to, oh my, is it time that I stop doing, videos for YouTube? Like that made me really sad and like kind of made me spiral even more, which is good to know because I'm not done making videos for YouTube. Anyway, it literally took me 2 days to like finally come to this conclusion. And I feel like I said all of this really well in the 2-5 intro, but whatever, because that was the first time that I said it. And usually that's like the best. Anyway, so I finally came to this conclusion that I was like, honestly, this has to be for the highest good, right? Like it has to be for my own betterment. It has to be for the betterment of like the messages being received by you. It has to be for the highest good of the channel, like, and not to mention, right? Like I said, I'm cutting out what I deem to be imperfection. So, I was trying to present this polished package, right? And which is very Virgo. Like Virgo kind of has like that perfectionism syndrome thing, right? Like, so, and Mars came in and was like, no, like that's not gonna work anymore. And it is almost like forcing me, quote unquote, to show up here more authentically, truly, because I'm not taking anything out. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, which I want. I want to show up more authentically. And truly, like, however the videos, like, you know, our time spent with the camera recording and like whatever is happening in the background, it's all going to be there, you know? And again, I have to trust that is the best route. And not to mention, I've had a couple different people tell me, like in astrology readings, to embrace the Pisces side, which is where my midheaven is, which is, you know, creativity and flow and releasing the perfection thing, you know, like very interesting. And also that the South Node is in Virgo, the North Node is in Pisces. So, you know, the South Node being like, these are the things that you've already learned, you already have the information on, or, you know, the things that to let go of. And Pisces, or the North Node, is new stuff. Like, what do you want to experience outside of like what you have already experienced? So, you know, not to mention, like, Jupiter was squaring Saturn and Neptune. I think the sun is now like involved in that. You know, like, it's just, it's interesting how all of this kind of came about. And and we'll just see how it goes. So thank you for letting me share. Let's talk about you now. Finally, right? Okay. So for our role model martyrs, we don't take the cards that flip in the deck or are wishy-washy. I just don't take them seriously if they flip in the deck. All of my decks know, we've had individual conversations literally with every single deck, that if a card has a message, it does have to come all the way out. It has to fall on the table. So you also want commitment, you know? For our 6 threes. Judgment. Okay. Starting off strong. I just like heard in my head, if you don't make the decision, somebody else will. Like, somebody or something else will. Okay, dang. The Death card. Both of these are Scorpio. Judgment is Pluto. The King of Wands. Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Wands. 3 of Wands. it kind of feels like there's this leveling up thing that is trying to come in, but like you have to let go of something first. And that's the scary part. Like that's the part that is holding you up. And like maybe it's like trying to figure out a way to have like both things exist at the same time, whatever it is. I had literally have no clue. But those two things, the like where you currently are at and where you want to go, cannot exist at the same time. Outside of the transition, like from one to the other, but it doesn't feel like it's a having your cake and eating it too type of situation here. And literally, like with this judgment card here, there's this Valkyrie soldier here, right? And then there's or warrior, um, and then there's these two soldiers down here that are in pretty rough shape. I think this dude is missing an arm. Were they fighting the Valkyrie? Maybe. There is this sense of defeat though down here, and girly is in pristine shape. Doesn't even look like she has been in a fight at all. So that it's like that's the energy that you're up against. Like you keep trying to fight something, and it's like only causing harm to yourself. And literally, like there's this looming energy around it. Trying to give you the opportunity to surrender, stay down. Judgment is also a card of transformation. It's the card that comes right before the World card. So it's at the end of the Fool's journey. We started with the Fool at 0, right? So it's at the end of the Fool's journey, and it's taking stock of the highs, the lows, the gains, the losses, and how you have transformed in the process. Because there's no way that you haven't in some way, you know? And also, even, Pluto is a generational planet, right? It takes 18 to 20 years to go through one sign. And it is literally the planet of the full life cycle, birth, life, death. And it takes that long for true transformation to happen. It's an Aquarius right now. It'll be there until like 2040 or something, which is wild. Like, are we going to be here in 2040? Like, that's just crazy. It seems so far away, but like it's also not. It's only, what, 15 years? Like, oh, that makes me sick. Anyway, this is literally something that has been unfolding for an extended period of time. Maybe not 20 years. I mean, it could be. But actually, hold on. Okay. I discovered my camera has a pause button, which is nice. I can at least use that if I do walk away from the desk. Anyway, there was somebody who was going to pick something up from Facebook Marketplace, and I wanted to grab my laptop just in case. So anyway, and literally too, like, the more that I stare at this card, right, it's like things can change. Just, I mean, it's truly a decision. Like, a decision could change things very quickly. Also, you know, it feels a little like justice. And especially too, like, if you have been for some time working on whatever this leveling up thing is with this King of Wands, because that is leveling up, whether, you know, it's a promotion in your job, whether it's, you know, taking more charge and control in your life, you know, whether it's being more of an authority and a leader, you know, even, you know, stepping into like the role model, like, you know, depending on where you are in your sixth line process, because the sixth line is the only line that has the three-tiered energy to it. Like the first 28 to 30 years until your Saturn return, the sixth line acts as a third line. So for the first 30 years, you're a 3-3, which I can't even imagine what that must be like. You know, the third line is trial and error, making and breaking bonds, life literally bumping up against you, physically and metaphorically. It's receiving a lot of information through experiencing things. Which is also like very Wands energy. I mean, we'll talk about that when we get there. But, and then, you know, after your Saturn return, you go up on the roof, and that's where you start unpacking those experiences. What happened? What impact did it have on me? What did I learn? What would I share with other people? What kind of therapy do I want to start with? You know, what do I want to, how do I want to use this wisdom in my life, and, you know, to benefit others too. And then in your 50s, you come off of the roof in, you know, full role model, you know, fashion, and truly just by existing, people look to you and recognize the wisdom that you do have to impart on them in, again, whatever capacity that is. So not to mention that is like the judgment cycle too, right? Like the whole adolescence, midlife role model, you know? So even that's really pretty interesting. And truly also like a trust the process, trust your design, type of thing. Curious, let's see. Judgment says decision, clarity, change, consequence. A soldier comforts his weeping friend as a Valkyrie looms above. She wears the crown of Anubis, gatekeeper of the underworld. You will likely identify with either the soldier or the Valkyrie in this card. By acting swiftly, you may make a decision of great importance now. It will not be without consequence. But if you do not take control, life certainly will. That is what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, it's almost too, like, not that time is running out by any means. Maybe patience is running out. Like, truly, and again, like, I don't know if I even finished my thought, but if you have been putting a lot of work into something, whatever it is, yourself, mostly, your goals, this is that point that you have like been working for. So it's like transitioning from being in the hustle to recognizing like you are at this pivotal point to transition from being in the hustle, transitioning to being in the energy that you have been hustling for. I don't know if you just heard that loud ass fly that just came buzzing in through here, but random. I'm like, where did it even come from? Hello? And too, like maybe again, it can be just a mindset shift, but it's like, I don't know how to act like outside of the hustle, right? Like this was the goal. This is, like what I have been working to achieve, but how do I switch my energy to that versus somebody who is, out there doing and creating and, whatever. Like, how do I change my energy into being the thing that I was working so hard to become? I think it's a mind shift, a mindset shift. Let me finish reading this, okay? But if you do not take control, life certainly will. Certain change is imminent, the kind that will leave you rattled. This does not mean the change is negative, for even if it is out of your hands, this could provide the burst of inspiration that you need. Veils will be lifted and your path will become clear. Truly. I really do think that it is a mindset shift. But it's also like both of these are Scorpio, right? Scorpio is a water sign. Not to mention Scorpio is also like the underworld, right? And literally, dude, literally, this Valkyrie looms, but she wears the crown of Anubis, gatekeeper of the underworld. Hello? Maybe Scorpio, like maybe you have a lot of planets in Scorpio. I don't know. You don't have to. It's just, the energy being the best way to describe. And literally, the next card is literally the underworld, death, right? Like, bro. But I was like, where was I going with that? So Scorpio being a water sign, which is our emotions, our emotional body too, right? So if your mind and your body have been in this energy of doing all of the things, right? Like getting clarity on what your goals are. What do you want to cultivate in your life? Like what type of person do you want to become in all of that, right? Like how do you want to fit into your life? And if your body and your mind has been so set on that for an extended period of time, there is again like this transitionary period where you have to now get your mind and your body, soul, everything, now you have to get that calibrated out of doing and into receiving, giving. Which could be uncomfortable. So definitely take your time, and just be aware of any like anxiety, fears, doubts, that come up. Those are all coming from a place of old energy. I'm used to being in this frequency, right? Like, and now I need to get used to being in this frequency. This frequency is also safe. This is where I wanted to be. This is what I was working towards. This is what I want, right? So it's interesting, again, like with this death card in the middle, literally, the death card says, every new beginning disguises itself as an end. Truly, something has to end in order for something new to begin. That's why I was saying at the beginning there that these things cannot exist at the same time outside of the transitionary period. It's almost like, this is the example that like just dropped into my head. It's almost like, this might age me actually. But how like back in the day, I guess maybe now too. I'm like, when was the last time? Okay, so when you got a new phone, right? And you had to like transfer all of your contacts and information from one phone to the new phone, right? Like it wasn't just instantaneous. It took a couple minutes, right? And during those couple minutes, both of those phones existed at the same time, right? Like there was information coming from the old phone to the new phone. But once everything was transferred over, this phone no longer works. You can't use both of them under like the same SIM card, or you know what I mean? So it is like this period of time of like transferring energy. And again, even if it is just a mindset shift, even if it is, just changing your energy around the thing, like even your daily routines could change. Like the transitionary period of being like, this is what I was doing. What do I want to do now? Like, what do I want my mornings to look like going forward? So it's like both of those things can exist for a short period of time, but one of them has to end. And that's the old shit. So the new shit can come in. Let me just see if the book has anything. Endings, new beginnings, change, transformation. Not to mention both of these cards talking about transformation. A skeletal vulture crouches between branches as new leafing vines sprout from its eyes. The death card does not necessarily symbolize a literal death. I mean, of course not, of any sort. But is rather a more positive harbinger of change. This card tells us that we need to let go of old habits and ways of thinking in order to allow for more rewarding patterns to emerge in our lives. If you resist the changes, there may be some pain, but if you embrace them and trust that life has something better in store, a profound experience awaits you. Mm-hmm. Both of these cards are like, look, you're going to be fine. Everything is great. You just have to like let go of whatever, like the thing that you're holding on to. Look at the King of Wands says natural born leader, vision, entrepreneur, honor. The King's stag rests in a meadow, his wand growing green with life and his crown ablaze with light. The King of Wands represents pure fire energy. Unlike other Wands cards, the King doesn't pursue specific aspirations, but rather seeks to change the world to match his vision. He excels at leading others to do the work for him through encouragement and influence. This card indicates that you are passionate and goal-oriented and that you possess a long-term purpose. He warns against arrogance or aggression in the pursuit of your goals. Consider the ideas of others and accept help when you are in need of it. And I love that, it is laying in this meadow, but it's like looking at the death card and the judgment card, just waiting for that decision to be made. So like the energy can be focused on it, or the energy can be like actualized or even expressed, right? Because I feel like wands are also expression, creativity, passion, the actions that you take, the motivation behind the actions that you take. And like I said, I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do you like, what don't you like, what stays, what goes, right? And like, that's what we were talking about. Like with the third line, of course, but truly, the King has a lot of wisdom. They've been through a lot of stuff. There is a confidence within them too, trusting themselves. So yeah. And then what's at the bottom of the deck? This Seven of Swords, which is self-sabotage. I see the Seven of Swords as being like us fooling ourselves. Believing you're not ready, believing you're not there, believing, it's not the time, you're not quite where you thought you would be, blah, 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 whatever. It's literally the shit that holds you back. Okay. This person is like on their way now. Truly, swords have to do with our mind, our mindset. And this is, again, it's like stealing from your potential. It's keeping you small when literally all of the energy here is like, bro, like everything is positive for your growth here. And the only thing that can stop you is your mind. So what thoughts are you watering? What thoughts are you giving attention to? Everybody has intrusive thoughts, right? Everybody has limiting beliefs. Everybody has that. But what are you giving attention to? The Knight of Wands is behind that. It almost kind of seems like having a little bit of fiery like delusion will help you get through this. Like it's literally like having to overly convince your mind, or like riz it a little bit somehow. Truly, just to get through like the transition period, like, right? Like just to get from A to B with as little resistance and negative self-talk as possible. It's just going to make it like less enjoyable. You've worked so hard. You've done a lot, and then for our brains to like, and all that it's doing, like it's comfortable where it's at, right? Like that's the habit, the routine that it's been in. It'll get used to the new routine. And this is the routine that it was even created for. So, right, like just be aware of your thoughts, where your thoughts are going, what thoughts you're giving attention to. There are other thoughts to give attention to, and ones that are helpful to you in this time as well. And again, if you don't make the decision, life will. Like, that's not a threat. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, listen, if you don't do it, we will. Because also it's like, you're there. Like we're there. So if you won't nudge yourself over, we'll do it, because this is what you want. This is what you asked for. This is what you worked for. Okay, you get it. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon.